Welcome to Whisper English, where you slowly grow your English speaking confidence. Have you ever tried to speak English, but your mind was still thinking in your native language? You hesitated, paused, or got stuck, even though you knew what you wanted to say. The words didn't come out smoothly, not because you didn't understand English, but because your thoughts had to pass through translation. It's like the idea is ready, standing at the door, but it can't find the right key to enter. If you felt this way, you're not alone. Many English learners experience the same problem, and it's not a sign of failure. It's simply a result of how your brain is used to working. For over 10 years, I've worked with people from all over the world, and I have learned that learning English is not about being perfect, it's about becoming more yourself in a new language. If you've ever studied grammar, memorized vocabulary, and read fluently, yet still struggled to speak naturally, you've probably discovered something important. You don't just need to learn English. You need to start thinking about it. When people talk about thinking in English, they don't mean that you must erase your native language or abandon your cultural identity. Your original language, your personal experiences, and the way your mind naturally works, these remain an essential part of who you are. Thinking in English doesn't mean becoming someone else. It means training your brain to create an additional path, one that allows your thoughts to travel directly into English without taking a detour through translation. It's not about replacing anything, it's about adding a new layer to how you express yourself. In many ways, it's like learning to ride a bicycle. At first, everything feels difficult and unnatural. You have to consciously think about where to place your foot, how to hold your balance, how to steer, and avoid falling. Every move takes effort, but with practice, something amazing happens. Your body remembers. You stop thinking about the mechanics, and you just ride. The same thing happens with language. At first, every English sentence you speak may feel slow, awkward, or forced. But over time, as your brain grows more comfortable, the process becomes smooth and automatic. That's what fluency feels like, not perfect, but natural. And here's something important that many learners forget or never hear enough. You don't need to live in an English-speaking country to develop this skill. You don't need a flawless accent or a university-level understanding of grammar. You don't need to be young, gifted, or surrounded by native speakers. What you really need is daily exposure, daily interaction, even in small ways. Just a few minutes of English thinking each day can create powerful changes in how your brain processes the language. Thinking in English is not a talent that some people are born with. It's a habit, something you can build step by step, day by day. The more often you think in English, the more natural it becomes. With time and gentle consistency, your thoughts can begin to flow in English just like they do in your first language, smoothly, clearly, and without fear. When learning English, one of the biggest obstacles many learners face is the habit of translating everything in their head from their native language. At first, this may seem helpful. You think in your own language, translate the sentence into English, check the grammar, and then try to speak. But by the time you're ready, the conversation has often moved on. The moment is gone. You're left feeling frustrated, not because your English is poor, but because your mind is stuck in a slow and tiring process. This constant mental back and forth creates a kind of traffic jam in your brain. It makes you hesitate, second-guess yourself, and feel anxious. Speaking becomes stressful not because you can't do it, but because you're carrying the extra weight of translation. In the beginning, translation can be useful. It's a natural step for many learners and can act like a bridge between two languages. But the key is to use that bridge to cross into a new way of thinking, not to live on it forever. If you stay dependent on translation, your English will always feel slow, robotic, and unnatural. Even if you have a large vocabulary, you won't be able to respond quickly or speak with confidence. That's why developing an English brain is so important. It means training your mind to think directly in English, without going through your native language. This takes time and practice, but it's the only way to speak smoothly and naturally. The goal is to feel free when speaking English, not trapped in translation. In your first language, you don't pause to translate. When you're hungry, you don't say to yourself, "How do I say this?" You just speak. That's because your thoughts and language are connected. That's the goal in English, to connect what you feel with what you say, directly and clearly. Here's how to begin. Next time you have a thought, try not to translate it. Instead, ask yourself, if I only had English, how would I say this? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't need to be beautiful. It just needs to be real. Real is always better than perfect. Speak simply. I'm tired. I want tea. It's raining. These sentences are not basic, they are human, and that's what fluency is built on. Your English brain doesn't grow through pressure, it grows through gentle, daily practice. You don't need to do big things. You just need to do small things often. Here are 5 simple habits you can start today to help English become a natural part of your life. First, name what you see. As you walk through your home or go outside, try to name objects in English. Say chair, table, window, tree, sky. It might feel too easy, but this creates a direct connection between what you see and the English word without translation. This is how children learn language, and it still works beautifully for adults. Second, talk to yourself in English. Use small, honest sentences throughout your day. Say, I'm getting up. I feel tired. I need coffee. When cooking, say things like, I'm cutting vegetables, or the water is boiling. You're not performing for anyone. You're building trust and fluency with your own voice. Third, keep a tiny journal. Every night, write just 1 or 2 sentences in English about your day. For example, today was hard, but I tried my best. Or, didn't speak English, but I listened to a podcast. This is more powerful than memorizing grammar. It helps you reflect and grow. Fourth, listen and repeat. Choose slow and clear English content. Pause after each sentence, repeat it out loud, and copy the tone and rhythm. This helps connect your ears, mind, and mouth. It's like training a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it becomes. Fifth, use one phrase all day. Pick a simple English phrase like, "That's interesting," or "Not sure," and try to use it in different situations. Say it aloud or silently throughout your day. This builds your ability to respond automatically in English, which is the key to fluency. Small steps, taken daily, create big change over time. Many English learners believe that the key to fluency is more vocabulary, more grammar rules, or more complicated sentence structures. While vocabulary and grammar are certainly helpful, they are not the heart of communication. What truly brings a language to life is emotional connection. Think about how babies learn to speak. They don't begin with textbooks or grammar drills. They begin by feeling the world around them. They experience emotions first: curiosity, joy, fear, and then they express those emotions in the simplest words possible. A baby sees a dog and says, "Dog," not because they've mastered sentence structure, but because they feel something real and want to share it. You can approach English in the same way. Instead of waiting until you have the right words or the correct grammar, begin with what you feel. Let your emotions guide you. When something meaningful happens during your day, a kind gesture from someone, a stressful moment at work, a memory that makes you smile or cry, pause and ask yourself, "How do I feel right now?" Then try to answer in English. It doesn't have to be long or impressive, just honest. Say, "I'm nervous," or "I feel proud," or "miss home." These simple emotional statements are powerful. They train your brain to connect English with real-life feelings, not just academic knowledge. This is where fluency truly begins. When English is not just something you study, but something you live, something that expresses your inner world. The more you speak from emotion, the more your English will sound natural and human. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present, to feel, and to speak from the heart. That's where real progress lives. The final and perhaps most important shift in your English journey is learning to stop treating English as just another school subject. English is not something to lock inside a textbook or only pull out during class or study sessions. It's something you can bring into your daily life, into your habits, into your thoughts and emotions. When you start to live with English, really live with it, it becomes more than a language. It becomes a part of who you are. This doesn't mean you need to speak perfectly or switch your entire life into English overnight. It means that little by little, you allow English to enter your everyday moments. You begin to think small thoughts in English. "I'm tired today. That was funny. I need to focus." You start noticing how you feel and expressing it, even if just in your head. You create small routines, maybe listening to an English podcast while cleaning, or writing one line in an English journal each night. These don't feel like study tasks. They feel like life. Over time, English becomes less of an obligation and more of a companion, walking beside you as you move through your day. Here's something powerful to ask yourself. How many minutes each day do you actually live in English? Not just watch a video or read a grammar rule, but live by thinking, feeling, noticing, and responding in English. For many learners, the answer is less than 30 minutes. And that's completely okay. That's where growth begins. Even one quiet sentence a day spoken, written, or simply thought can slowly reshape how your brain connects with English. That's how fluency is built, not by force, but by frequency. Not through pressure, but presence. So let English into your life, one small, real moment at a time. You don't need to be perfect to belong. You don't have to wait until your grammar is flawless or your pronunciation is native-like to feel confident in English. True growth in language doesn't come from pressure, but from presence. Your English brain grows best when you approach it with kindness, patience, and consistency. Instead of pushing yourself with unrealistic expectations, treat your learning process like a friendship, gentle, supportive, and full of understanding. Be kind to yourself. It's perfectly okay if your sentences are simple. It's okay if you speak slowly or make mistakes. That's how real learning happens. Your language doesn't have to be big or impressive. It can be small, soft, and quiet in the beginning. Speaking to yourself counts. Whispering thoughts in English when no one is listening is still practice. In fact, those small moments matter more than you think. They are where confidence is born, where you begin to trust yourself. Try this gentle exercise before bed. Say just one sentence in English, nothing more, something honest and real. You could say, "I'm learning," or "Today was difficult, but I'm still here," or even, "I believe in myself." Let it be simple. Let it be true. That one small sentence, spoken with presence, is powerful. It connects you to your thoughts, strengthens your inner voice, and slowly builds your fluency from the inside out. You don't need more pressure. You need more presence. With time, these quiet moments become your foundation. They are where the journey truly begins. Fluency isn't about knowing everything, it's about feeling at home in another language. When you stop chasing perfection and start creating small, meaningful habits, something beautiful happens. One day, without warning, you find yourself thinking in English. You understand without translating. You speak without planning. You write without fear. This transformation doesn't come from pressure. It comes from presence, from allowing English to live beside you, a quiet companion throughout your day. Whether you ever live abroad, whether anyone ever praises your skills, whether you ever speak to a large audience, your practice matters. Because the way you talk to yourself shapes the way you live. So take a breath. Say one sentence in English today. Whisper it. Feel it. Let it be true. And tomorrow, do it again. That's how your English brain grows, with care, with courage, and with connection.